Ladies and gentlemen, the How Far Down podcast is brought to you by
the How Far Down merch store.
Here we got our featured shirt of the week, our laserproof blue t-shirt. Protect your torso with his laserproof blue How Far Down t-shirt. Which one do you like the best?
I'm going to go with my top. Let's see. These are all nice, but bam! Bigfoot, baby. Vintage style, Bigfoot, and a unisex. They're all unisex, by the way.
Yep.
How about you? What's your favorite?
I like Bribin 24/7 a lot.
Oh,
But
that's
I
a good
think
one.
my absolute favorite is right here, bro, at the top. This alien chick.
Yeah, that's
my
top seller.
favorite.
Top seller right there. You too can have these shirts. We want to thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your support. We'll put all the links in the bio to the store. Thanks so much.
All right.
Ready? Billy Ulrich.
What's up, brother?
Same old, same old. He's talking sewer cooking oil from China.
Yeah, we got a shitty episode for y'all today.
This is good. I don't know what to say about this one.
I know you've been tripping on it all, bro.
I'm gonna fire it up and then we're gonna talk about it. This is some fucking gross shit.
It's all in a day's work for this woman. She opens up a manhole cover and scoops out as much slop as she can, delighted by what she finds. What others might view as revolting, she sees as a bonanza. She works in the streets of the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen, a foot soldier in China's so-called gutter oil industry. After more than 10 years in the business, she says she's made enough money to build a house for her family back in her home village 1,000 miles to the north. Her slop eventually winds up in a processing plant like this one, where it's combined with other animal fat refuse to create recycled cooking oil. Workers put the oil in barrels for delivery to restaurants and hotels.
How can you eat this? If you eat it, it can kill you.
Cooking oil has long been a cherished commodity in China, where stir-frying in a wok is the mainstay of daily meal preparation. The high profit margins from gutter oil production have proven irresistible. Chinese experts estimate that 1/10 of China's cooking oil is gutter oil, which has been found to contain carcinogens and other toxins harmful to humans. Most of it winds up in hole-in-the-wall restaurants and among street food vendors. Illegal production sites are often discovered after people living nearby notice a nauseating stench and alert the authorities. Police have arrested scores of people across the country in recent years for engaging in the trade and seized thousands of tons of the material. The Chinese government enacted a tough food safety law in 2009 that included harsh penalties for producers of tainted products. But many consumers doubt that China's dinner tables can be completely free of gutter oil.
All we can do is accept it. In our current society, everybody tries to swindle everybody else. There's nothing we can do about it.
This is the way I look the entire time.
What's your favorite part, man?
My favorite part, I'm not sure if I'd phrase it that way, but wow.
Bro, this is one of those things where I try to tell people about it, and they look at you like
Nah.
you're dumb, you know, or
That's
whatever.
foolish.
Yeah.
That's crazy talk.
You try to describe it, and it doesn't register. It just doesn't. People can't believe it, man. You gotta see it with your own eyes.
I understand why they can't believe this. It's an unbelievable thing.
It's an unbelievable thing.
At the beginning, she's like, what did she say? Some people find it repulsive, while others, like,
Oh,
who are the others? Who's not going to find it repulsive? I can't remember exactly what she said, but you know, at the beginning,
Yeah,
the British
yeah,
lady voiceover.
You know, I wonder if it's because she's British and she was just trying to be as polite as possible.
That's
you know,
probably, yeah, that kind of goes hand in hand with
you know,
being
British culture or whatever.
Polite, yellow
But
teeth.
she did refer to it as a bonanza. Why some people find it repulsive.
How about that sound when they were pouring the
The
bucket?
sound, bro. Oh my god.
That's the future.
We're gonna edit it in, man. Acceptable.
We should use that sound
Yeah.
on separate occasions that are disgusting.
Bro,
occasions.
I noticed too, man. It didn't look like they were wearing gloves. The dude, the husband, definitely was not wearing gloves.
They're making oil out of human shit.
Yeah, but like it's what it looks like, bro. They're literally taking buckets full
Of sewage.
the shit and piss from a sewer.
That's what's happening. They didn't say it. They didn't use those words. That's what's happening.
She called it slop. Again,
it's piss and shit.
It's the piss and shit from your asshole and your dick.
That's good that you drew a map for people so they know where it comes
In
from.
case they don't know, you know.
Yeah, good. It's very informative. Can you imagine a more foul scenario than this right now?
You can't hardly imagine it. No,
That's fucking as foul as it gets.
I feel like because
I need a moment.
I know, bro. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in.
It's a lot of
And the numbers are astounding. The lady she doesn't estimate.
1/10.
She cites that, you know, Chinese officials estimated that a tenth. So, you know, if there's a billion people, that's 100 million people a day
That's a
eating
fucking lot of
ass,
people
bro.
eating asshole. I mean,
Yeah.
shit.
100 million people a day, every day of the year, are eating their meals cooked in their neighbor's piss and shit, man.
I'm not trying to be all dramatic, but I'm a bit taken aback by this video.
Yeah, bro, so they take the sewage, they scoop it out with a bucket, put it into like a 100-gallon barrel, and they wheel the barrel to the processing plant.
They heat it high enough.
It's just a big, like a cauldron, like a witch's
Yeah,
cauldron.
totally.
And
Witch's shit cauldron.
They heat it up, and allegedly, you know, the cream rises to the top.
Oh, don't say cream.
The cream rises to the top, you know, and then they scrape it off. And I want to know what the fuck you're eating that is worth eating your neighbor's ass for.
Right, that's the thing. Is like there's a lot of people they know it. They're aware.
right.
But they're okay with it. Does it shit taste that good?
I just want, what are you cooking in it that you couldn't just eat raw?
I would rather eat anything else.
I'm telling you, like, even if it's something fucked up or whatever, like, well, how come you can't just eat it raw, bro? Like, if you have vegetables cooked in this thing, like, really, you got fetish, bro. You got problems, man. You got
Because you can't.
unhealthy
You eat that
fetish.
shit raw. Just
Right.
eat the fucking head broccoli. Don't dip it in shit oil.
Yeah.
Gutter oil. What a fucking.
Gutter oil is such a PR name.
It is such a PR
such a
name.
PR phrase for it. Yeah. Gutter oil.
So I'm trying to think to myself why. Like, what pushes these people to use gutter oil? It can't just be they're trying to penny pinch. It's got to be what more to it? There's got to be more to it.
You know, man, I'm sure some of the restaurant owners who are buying it, they're probably just penny pinching. They don't give a fuck
maybe.
at all, 0%,
Right.
or whatever, man. We can get it for pennies on the dollar or whatever the fuck.
Right.
You know, I'm sure there's some enterprises that really just don't give a fuck. They know, they don't care.
Yeah.
They're just trying to make as much
That's
as
cost.
they
Yeah.
can. Right.
Well, I found an excerpt. I went on Cura, and this guy had a really good point.
Okay.
The reason why sewer oil is being used in China is because the country can no longer produce enough cooking oil to satisfy demand. Thus, hotels and restaurants are now collecting oil from city sewer systems to cook customers' food. The reason why China can no longer produce enough cooking oil is because the Chinese Communist Party has destroyed a lot of its own agricultural fields for the purpose of making its people more dependent on government. That sounds familiar. Right? China has had a long history of people in rural towns and provinces rebelling against government restrictions. Hence, the party systematically bulldozed their areas for the purpose of taking away people's ability to be independent. I.e. social credit score system, right? Furthermore, the party has also forced much of its rural labor into big cities for manufacturing jobs. This greatly reduced the number of people who could still grow crops. When the pandemic struck, the party had to implement a zero-COVID policy, which caused their ability to manufacture foods to plummet. Kind of, okay. So he has a good point as far as, making people more dependent on the government.
Right.
I still can't find that as a good enough excuse to cook the food and feed it to people, to cook it in shit oil. You can call it gutter oil all you want. Cooking it in oil that comes from people's feces.
Right.
And they're feeding it to people.
Dude,
man, what the fuck?
It's hard for an average person to imagine because you're not a psychopath. You're
right.
not a fucking
Allegedly.
sociopath, a killer. But bro, there's really people on this earth, a lot of them, that have no value whatsoever on life.
I agree with that.
And that's the kind of person.
Yeah, man. I mean, how else can you explain that shit?
Man, the poor lady scooping it out. I wonder. I mean, you gotta be so desperate, bro. It must be so beyond desperate. Like no other options whatsoever. Like can't clean, can't be a maid, can't just no other.
There's
options.
got to be a fucking another way. You don't have to cook it in that shit. How about just don't use oil?
That's
I cook shit on the stove, and when I'm out of oil, I'm still gonna cook it.
What about barbecue, man?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like I don't see this as an excuse. You can't paint a terrible or an oppressive enough picture from the government standpoint down to the people where I can see why they did that. Don't use oil. Just cook it a different way. If people are that desperate, they're gonna eat no matter what the fuck you make. Obviously they are because they know it's cooked in shit oil, right? And they're still eating it. So how about it tastes what does it taste that good? I mean, that doesn't take away from the fact that it's shit oil. So how about you cook it and it doesn't taste as good, but at least you're not cooking. You're not feeding them shit oil food. I'm sorry, I just went off on a rant.
No, I can tell you're very passionate about this.
Well, that's just disgusting.
It's so fucked up,
It's the
right?
grossest thing. It's got to be. I can't think of it. Like I said, I'm trying to in my head find a more foul situation. I can't think. I mean, if I think of it, I'll say it on one of the next episodes. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to find something more foul.
I don't think you're gonna be able to either.
Fuck. Sorry. Go ahead.
Man, the other thing that it made me think of is like, okay, this isn't China, right? But where else? Where else? Okay, if they're doing this in China. North Korea is right next door.
Yeah.
They're
more oppressed.
even more oppressed, even more desperate. 100%. 100% they're doing this in North Korea.
Fuck yeah.
Like how far down? Gospel.
Yeah. Now that I see this, absolutely.
Okay, but then where else, bro? Where
India.
else?
What about India?
I mean, okay, we're just talking about a mass of people. Again, more than 1 billion people. Probably.
There's some fucking
somewhere,
really desolate parts of India too, where people
probably
are desperate as
somewhere.
fuck.
And then I thought, what about Mexico, man?
Ooh, that's really close to home. That's very close to home. I can see why you think that maybe.
I'm just asking the question.
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Well, fuck.
Maybe not on the same 10% of the whole population level.
Yeah.
But again, a place with some desperate people with nothing going on. There's a lot of oppression in Mexico. The government is super duper corrupt. The cartels are the acting government in large territories of the place.
That's a valid question. It's a valid concern you're raising.
Bro, it made me think of the fucking beans, bro. The lard, like they use lard, right, for the beans. Like what's?
I don't want to know this.
I want to know. I don't know the answer. I'm just asking the question. What's the pork to beans ratio, and does it match? Do you have enough pigs to have enough lard to make that many beans?
If not,
and if you
let me
don't,
know.
where's the lard coming from?
That's when the shit's gonna hit the fan.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good question to raise. That makes me even go deeper or further.
Yeah, further north.
Yeah. So there's some desperate shit going on here too. Maybe not. There's desperation. We're heading towards much more chaos. We're heading towards much more desperation. Homeless numbers are climbing high. We're letting people over the border just fucking left and right. Who's to say that that's not happening here?
Man,
the economy's off the charts. People are struggling.
Right.
They're going to cut costs somehow. They see a video like this. Maybe, dude, I got it. We can save some money. We can make some money. We can make this food. We don't need to buy all this oil. We just got to sneak out at night. We got to lift up the manhole. Dude, this is fucked.
I want to know too, bro. Here's another one. I don't know. Again, I'm just asking questions because this video provides much more questions than answers.
Yeah, it certainly does.
But how much oil do we import? How much cooking oil do we import? Where does it come from?
Versus how much food do we produce?
No, I want to know. Do we import cooking oil from China?
Right.
Or other places that may or may not, do the sewer oil?
No, that's a great question. I was more towards let's look at the food production. If we don't have enough oil for that, and how come so much food is being produced? I was going in that direction like it's happening here, but let's go back to that. Is the oil coming from China? That's a great question. That's a great question.
Is there cooking oil being imported into the United States en masse from China? I want to know because, dude, they ain't gonna send you the good stuff, bro. Not all of it. Nah. You order a box of Nikes from China. You get a few Nikes, and you get a few not Nikes too.
I'm gonna ask a question.
What's the question?
How far down that we've eaten food?
Oh man.
I have to ask because you raised a great point. That's a valid question you have, a valid concern, and that makes me want to ask: how far down would you go that this has happened and that we've experienced it without knowing it? That we've eaten food that has been cooked in some shit oil. This is the grossest podcast I've ever been a part of.
It is.
But come on,
I felt
you understand? I mean, like look what you saw.
How far down though? Okay, bro, I traveled a lot, man. I've been a lot of places. I've eaten a lot of skeptical things.
This is one of those things I wish I didn't know.
I don't know.
Not really, but gosh, it's a hard one.
Analyzing the conditions of the video and how we just did how could you get to this? Well, there must be this element of desperation and oppression. And I don't know, bro. I'm just going through my mind right now. I don't want to slander any places I've been because I got a lot of love for all of them.
Yeah.
However, I've been to a lot of places that have these conditions that meet these criteria. And
how far down?
I think it's fucking likely. Oh no! I think it's fucking likely.
Oh no! I think you're right. Fuck!
Bro, I've eaten a lot of fucking food in places that smell like sulfur 24/7. I've been to some places where there are people living on generations of people living on the street. Like,
What was Chile?
parts of Chile can be very poor. I don't think that's not the place I think I had it.
Yeah,
I think it was some other places.
That's fine.
I don't want to slander, man.
I
I
hear you.
feel a little conflicted about it. A bit like with our Matthew Perry episodes. Like,
Yeah, I hear you.
Uh,
Gosh, yeah, because there's no evidence really, right? We don't want to. There's evidence here, clearly.
I'm just saying,
What the fuck? Man?
circumstances, the elements. I've been to places that fire on all the syllables for times, for 3 weeks at a time, 4, 5, 6 weeks at a time. So that level of exposure, statistically, there's a pretty decent chance. There's a pretty decent chance that this happens around the world in different spots. And
And if you've traveled at all, then I'm starting to wonder, even if you haven't traveled.
you're at home. I'm
I
telling
think
you,
it's
bro,
less of a chance, but I don't know.
Here, let's start from the bottom.
Yeah.
How far down? There's some shit oil somewhere in America today.
Likely.
Likely.
Yeah, likely.
Yeah. So how far down that there's some shit oil in your city?